Welcome back to Bumblebee. Here are the top 10 dangerous substances you should never touch. Let's do it. Number 1 is so deadly, but so cute. You're in for a treat. Kicking off our list at number 10, the Indian red scorpion. Scorpions are underrated. We always talk about spiders or snakes or whatever. How about scorpions? How about somewhere right in the middle? These things are like lobsters mixed with snakes, mixed with spiders. It's terrible. If you live in a place that has scorpions, I'm so sorry. Indian red scorpions are of course found in India, and they're also found in Nepal, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and they're the most venomous out there of the entire species. So if you see this one specifically, run. The fatality rate here is around 40% if you get bit by one of these, so it's about 50-50. That's fun. You'll know if it's an Indian red scorpion because you'll start to sweat like crazy. You'll probably throw up immediately. You may or may not start convulsing right off the bat. And most likely your body will just shut down and you'll pass out. So if any of that happens, yeah, it's probably the Indian red scorpion. Their venom is potentially groundbreaking. You see, scientists are figuring out a way to fight cancer with it as we speak. So yeah, it's like, just gotta fence with the thing first, stay very far away, and then we might solve cancer. I don't know. Would you fight a scorpion to cure cancer? Comment down below. Number 9, Jimson Weed. Sounds like the name of a small town auto mechanic. Yeah, it's Jimson Weed over there. Sounds like a nice dude. Well, in reality, Jimson Weed is a very mean old man. You don't want to talk to this guy at all. The Jimson Weed flower is white or violet, and it often looks pretty harmless. And growing up to 5 feet tall, it's gonna catch your eye. It's gonna bop out. You're gonna see it at some point. Now, the seed pod in the middle, it looks like something Bowser's minions would throw at you. It's terrifying. It's a spiky little seed pod. It looks evil, right? This is your sign. Avoid this plant. And also, don't breathe around this plant. I know, just hold your breath and then run away. That's all you have to do. Don't inhale Jimson Weed. That's a bad strain, my friends. It's a terrible strain. This plant can cause hallucinations, seizures, breathing problems, and your heart will speed up like crazy. It's named after Jamestown weed because back in 1676, British soldiers got too close to the plant and they ended up hallucinating for 11 days straight. It was also reported that they grinned like monkeys and they were kissing each other. Yeah, so that's why you don't eat this plant. You'll end up kissing all your homeboys. Fun fact, this grows in southern Ontario, aka where I am right now. This weed grows behind our studio in the summertime. I see it every year and I get so scared. So if I'm ever in here hallucinating, you know I f***ed up on my break. That's what happened. Number 8, the Carolina Reaper. Yeah, this one's real hot. This one's real hot. I don't do well with peppers, so kudos if you do it. Yeah, I'm throwing hot peppers on this list. Why not? Do you know what happens if you touch a Carolina Reaper and then you accidentally make contact with your eyeball? It's not great, I'll tell you that for free. It's officially the world's hottest pepper. The Carolina Reaper is 200 times more intense than that of a jalapeno pepper. So if you're having nachos and you get one of those stuck on the bottom of a chip, yeah, it's that by, that times 200. It's horrible. I would faint, I can't do it. If you eat one of these peppers, headaches will linger for a while as well. Measuring in the Scoville heat units, it's up in the 2 million. So if you're one of those Scoville guys, now you know the stats. Peppers like the scorpion pepper, for example, that falls just underneath it. This is still top dog, right? Now, of course, you can touch these peppers if they're handled properly. They add a nice little spicy flavor to your meal, all that good stuff, but if you handle it improperly, you're gonna be patting your eyes with cloths full of milk. That's what you don't wanna do right there. One user from Reddit shared their experience after barely touching a pepper and then rinsing their hands with water. They almost went blind because of this. So yeah, wash them twice. Wash up twice. Number 7, the Rosary Pea. Anything that starts with the, you know it's bad news. Well, the good news here is that the Rosary Pea doesn't look like something that you want to eat, unlike deadly nightshade berries. That looks delicious. It looks like a ladybug. It's all red, it's got a black spot on the top. It looks kind of evil. It looks like something the devil himself would offer you. Just a scary red pea. No one wants that. I don't like green peas, let alone red ones. Fuck that. Eating just one of these peas can cause death. Just like that, just like a poison. The Rosary Pea has been the culprit in many jewelry makers' deaths, believe it or not. See, this pea was often used as a bead due to its mesmerizing natural colors, draws the eye in, really gets your attention. But what would happen is while they were poking a hole through the pea, sometimes the needle would slip and poke a finger or two. Now, normally this is just another day for somebody into the arts and crafts, but the poison would then enter your bloodstream, and then at that point, that's a wrap. Like I said about the berries earlier, if you're not sure, just walk away. Don't just sniff random bushes. Don't lick any weird rocks. Don't eat any strange berries. Do I have to tell you this? Please. Number 6, yew. Yeah, it literally has the word ew in it, so you shouldn't forget this one. Yew equals ew. It's also referred to as ground hemlock. A little less fun, but despite how they look, these aren't even berries. They're cones almost, or they're bells. Either way, they look poison. They don't look appetizing, which is great. The main toxin that we're playing with here when it comes to yew is Taxol. Now, Taxol is commonly used in chemotherapy. Pretty powerful stuff. Right now, we're at the point where we're making Taxol in a lab because their populations haven't exactly sprung sprung back into action yet. So yeah, lab-made toxic bells. Stay away. Please, please. If you ingest Taxol, you're moments away from experiencing hypothermia, seizures, respiratory failure, and you may just enter a coma. Yeah, it only takes half a gram of these flat-pointed needles to take you out. The more you know. I like these knowledge lists here on B. It's like, hey, don't touch or eat any of this. All right, have fun out there. Number 5, stonefish. This next one is great at disguising itself, so good luck out there, folks. The stonefish, he's a spiny dude. Now, each of its 13 spines also happen to be filled with venom. So if you're taking a late night dip, watch out for rocks that are blinking at you. You want to avoid those ones. The other ones are fine. Those ones that are doing this with the spikes, nah, those ones suck. These fish look angry all the time, and I don't blame them. At least an octopus is cute, you know what I mean? What the hell is this? Is that even a fish? Its venom is lethal to humans, so if you're watching this and you're a human who lives in, you guessed it, Australia, shout out to Bridget, you better wear steel-toe boots to the beach because these guys are just sitting there waiting. Stonefish don't use their venom to hunt. They only shoot venom out of their spines if pressure is applied to them. So yeah, they're lazy. They just lie there and wait for someone else to bump into them, like that big guy at the mall that we don't like. That's like walking in a minefield. I'm glad I know this. I wish I didn't know this, but I'm glad that I do. Number 4, deadly decor. Throughout history, many ancient civilizations used creative ways to color their clothing or to paint buildings or tombs, whatever, you name it. Nowadays, we can pick the exact shade we want to fill in a family room, and we can see how the room's gonna look online on our iPad before we even touch a paintbrush. It's honestly bullshit. But back in the day, they barely even knew about the toxic fumes they were inhaling the entire time. Like white lead, for example. Not that great in the lung department. Around 2,500 years ago, humans produced this color, right? It was one of a kind. It was one of the earliest examples of pigmentation. Pretty big deal. Hey, this guy made color. How sweet is that? It's mentioned back in the 3rd century by philosophers, and you'd create it by mixing metallic lead with vinegar. Now, the fine lead shavings dissolve into the strong vinegar, then it's dried, sifted, and then mixed again with even stronger vinegar, and then it's dried up in the sun. And then you can start painting. How exhausting is that? Now, European painters used this white lead, but once it's inhaled, ingested, or even makes direct skin contact, then you'd experience muscle pains and spasms, and blood pressure would skyrocket. And of course, you'd get extreme headaches, and you couldn't finish painting your wall, which is honestly the worst tragedy of them all. Number 3, comb stars. Ocean life is by far the scariest thing out there. Olivia and I are going on vacation in a few days, and I'm scared of starfish. That's what I'm thinking about right now. We have no idea what's in our oceans. We discover some crazy shit down there every single year. Some deep sea fish with bioluminescence, they look like they're aliens. I don't know. Some are aliens, some are weird looking, others are natural predators. Like the comb star, for example, a starfish that naturally contains tetrodotoxin, which is this deadly neurotoxin that can immediately cause paralysis. Yeah, and that's starfish. Who knew? Imagine having this guy in Finding Nemo. Would not get a sequel. That would definitely not get a sequel. Movie would be 13 minutes flat. Per every gram of comb star flesh, there is enough toxin to take out 500 mice. And no, we don't have an antidote for that yet. Where was this back in the Black Plague? All those rats? Just saying, would have been a hell of a fight. Number 2, polonium. This radioactive metalloid is extremely rare. That's pretty lucky. Unless you're Homer Simpson or you work in a radiation plant, I don't think you're gonna be seeing any glowy substance anytime soon near your persons. Polonium is used primarily as a heat source to an atomic level. It glows bright blue because it's so strong that it actually excites the air molecules surrounding it. See, unlike acid, the particles in polonium don't have enough power to actually get through your skin, so you can, grab it and dance around with it like Homer does, but it's still very radioactive. 1 gram of polonium produces the same amount of radiation as 5 kilograms of radium. That's not great. This element is 250,000 times more toxic than cyanide. 1 gram can take out 10 million people. 10 million people. A real-life use of this element was used against the former spy Alexander Litvinenko. Just a trace amount was slipped into his tea, and then he suffered for 23 days before eventually horribly passing away. Yeah, worst English breakfast ever. No tip. And finally, number 1, the blue-ringed octopus. I told you that he was cute, right? But don't do this. Do not do what you're about to see. Do not pick up a small, squishy blue-ringed octopus. In fact, just don't even look at them, just go away. The blue-ringed octopus is commonly found in coastal waters of Australia and Japan, and sometimes they're not even in the water. Sometimes the influencers got them and they're showing everyone at the beach, hey, come poke it, see what happens. Don't do that. I'm here to tell you, never do that. They use their tentacles to walk along the ocean floor, they're fast, and they can move in small crevices so you won't even see them coming, and ideally, that's where you want them to stay. Not in the palm of your hand. Not like that. They're dazzling, but they're deadly. The blue-ringed octopus is lethal enough to take out 26 adults. They pack quite a punch, and again, they're tiny, you'll have no idea. They're filled with 2 different types of venom. Imagine that, 2 for the price of 1, have fun. The first can kill their prey easily, no questions asked, and the other can be used as a defense. Either way, this encounter is bad news, not something you want to experience on any level. They don't get very large either, so keep an eye out. Again, Stonefish, rocks that blink, squishy octopus that'll kill you. Just wear your water shoes, that's all I'm saying. I'm Taylor McWaters, you're you, don't eat you, and we'll see you next time on Bumblebee. Peace.